Hi, thank you so much for joining today. We'll start today's practice coming into a comfortable seated position. You're always welcome to add a pillow, blanket, or blocks under your hips. You could come to a crisscross applesauce or sit on your knees. Anything that feels like it would be a great place to start to unwind, start to come into our present moment. As we settle in here, maybe we allow our eyes to close, or maybe we simply soften our gaze. Allow your body weight to sink heavier into the ground beneath you. We'll start to lengthen our inhale and allow our exhale to be a little longer. And we'll start to take a momentary scan through our body, noticing any sensations or any aches or pains. Taking a moment to notice your energy level. And maybe even take a moment to notice the air that surrounds your body. Does it feel cool or warm? On cloudy days, we can't see the sun like last weekend, but we know it's still shining on the other side. Sometimes we can't feel it, but knowing it's there might bring us a little bit of peace. This knowing is the same with joy. Sometimes in the present moment, we are overwhelmed with our difficulties, and joy seems far away. But we can remember that even if we can't see it or feel it, joy is still there. Proof is in those moments when you're crying, so stressed out, frustrated, and then you start to cry, and then you start to laugh, or you're so stressed out, but a piece of music makes you feel like you're light as air. Joy is always there. We just have to look for it and let it in. As we breathe here in grounded contemplation, take a moment to sense any difficulties that have been weighing on your heart. And see if you can open your awareness so that you know that joy is there as well. Next, we'll begin to get into our breathing exercise for today, the laughing breath. This breath can sometimes make us feel self-conscious. And if at any point that feels true and authentic for you, know that you are welcome to simply imagine the breath versus vocalizing it. I'll demonstrate the breath a couple of times and feel free to join me whenever you feel comfortable. This breath aims to cultivate some joy. It brings out our inner child. It can let us help release stressors. And it promotes optimism and positivity. We'll inhale deeply, and then as we exhale, we'll exhale in a combination of quick bursts of air, finishing with maybe a little vocal laughter if it feels authentic for you. So we'll go ahead and start now. Now, sometimes it feels like you have to fake it till you make it, but that can sometimes help promote that inner joy. We'll take about 3 more cycles of this breath if you're visualizing it or if you're actually taking it. No, find the natural breath without changing it in any way. Notice any difference in the sensations of the body, if there are any. Joy can be found in the most unexpected things and ways. This reminds me of a time when I went to a farmer's market with a friend. We walked up to a table piled with loose green beans. We both looked at the table and then we looked at each other and burst out laughing. A woman walked by. She came up to the table to see what we were laughing about and joined in our laughter. No one could explain why we thought the pile of beans were funny, but the fact that it made me, my friend, and a random stranger all laugh for no reason shows how close joy is under the surface. Joy can find us in our most intimate moments, and it reminds us of her importance. So as you move through your day, notice when joy finds you. As you move through your practice, as you move through your week, perhaps it's in a piece of music, smile of a stranger, a sunny, above freezing walk, or a table of green beans. We'll take one last moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude that we took time out of our busy day to slow down and come meet ourselves here on the mat. Now, as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open. And then we'll add a little gentle movement into our practice. So if you're seated anyway, then crisscross applesauce. Maybe come into a crisscross applesauce with the right leg in front or on top. And then let's take our hands into a prayer and then circle them up and overhead. Reaching through the torso, feeling that length and extension through our body. Maybe we even take our gaze up. And then let's take that right hand, we'll take it down by our right hip as we begin to lean a little towards the right side. We're gonna pause here and start to take some circles with that left shoulder. They can be big circles or little circles. It's really up to you what would feel better. Noticing how that shoulder joint is flowing today. And then let's reverse that circle. Great job. Let's inhale, come back through center. And then exhale, let's start that left hand, starting to take a slight lean over to the left. We'll pause for just a moment. Notice our breath. And then start to take circles with the right shoulder. And then go ahead and release or go the other direction. Great job. Our next inhale, both arms come up. And then with our exhale, let's bring our hands down through a prayer. Really press the hands together. Start to load that wrist and elbow joint. Pause here. Sit up a little bit taller. And then with our exhale, we'll release our hands. Alrighty, from here, we're going to take our shoulders up towards our ears. Really squeeze it up there. And then with an exhale, relax it. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Let them drop down. Take this a few times on your own. Beautiful. Last time. And then from here, we're going to come into a hero's pose. You're always welcome to go ahead and bring a block under your hips to tuck or untuck the toes as feels appropriate for you. Sit up tall through your spine. And then let's circle those arms back up and overhead. With our exhale, we're going to drop the right hand down towards the back of the head. You can grab onto the hand, the wrist, the elbow, or maybe grab your strap in between your hands. We're going to draw that right elbow up towards the ceiling with our left hand in some form or fashion. So we're really noticing that opening from rib cage through the armpit and arm. Maybe even in the shoulder blade just a little bit. Great job. We'll inhale through center. And exhale, drop it over to the right. So the left hand, drops down behind the spine and the right hand is pulling that left elbow in one fashion or another towards ceiling. Lengthening through the left side. Inhale back through center. And then with our exhale, bring your hands through your prayer. Great job. All righty. We're going to start to come up to rise onto our knees. Feel free to tuck those toes if you have them untucked. And if you like using blocks for a camel pose, go ahead and bring those back by your hips. With our inhale, we're going to start to let our arms reach up. So we're straight line up both sides of our body now, from knees to the fingertips. And then with your exhale, start to push your hips forward and lift your gaze. And you can keep your hands right above your head, or you can take them a little bit further back. Great job. Come back through your gaze at the horizon, maybe lower hands to your prayer. And then you can either take that same version with arms lifted up overhead, or maybe you take your hands to your lower back and start to squeeze your elbows towards each other. As we inhale, we push our hips forward, we start to lift our gaze. Maybe the hands go behind the head if you're taking the arms up variation. And if you're taking the hands on the hips, you can leave them there. You could drop them towards your blocks or towards your heels. But wherever you're at, you're pulling your hips forward, you're pulling your heart forward, you're lifting your gaze as far as it feels good, and you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Great job. Inhale and bring your hands back to a lower spine or overhead if you're taking that variation. All righty, we're gonna come into a cross camel twist. So if you're taking your hands up and overhead, you're gonna twist towards your right, send your left hand or right hand back behind you. If you're taking it from the hip version, you'll lower your right hand towards your left block or heel. And then we'll all lift left hand up a little higher, pulling hips and heart up. Inhale to come back, hands on hips or overhead. And then let's take left arm towards the right. Lifting right arm up. Beautiful job. We'll come back through arms overhead one last time. And then with our exhale, we'll bring our hands through a prayer. And then let's come into a tabletop here, letting the hands come under the shoulders, the knees come under the hips. And take a couple of cat cows. Go ahead and come back to your straight spine. And then from here, we're gonna come back into a seated position on our hips. But this time we're gonna come into a frog with our lower body. So we're gonna take the knees a little wider than hip distance. You're welcome to sit up on a block if you'd like, or on the floor. You'll start to draw your heels towards your body, but your knees are opened up wide. You can leave the feet flat on the floor. Sometimes it can feel good to lift those toes and pull them, flexing back towards your shins. Maybe bringing our hands to a prayer here. Doing a great job. Great job. We're going to drop our right hand down towards our right leg or foot, anywhere on it. And then take your left arm up and over. Go ahead and come back through center. Drop the left arm towards the left leg. Reach right arm up. Exhale, release to center. Sit up a little taller on your inhale. And then let's release this by coming back into our crisscross with the left leg in front or on top this time. And let's drop our head down towards our chin towards our chest. We open up through the back of the neck, pull the shoulders blades back. And then with your next inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Take a few gentle movements on your own, inhaling to look up, exhaling chin to chest. Now bring your gaze to the horizon. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Let your left arm circle around and rest the weight of your hand on the side of your head. And then maybe extend the right arm. You can lift it up or down, forward or back until you find some stretches that feel good in your neck. You can find continuous dynamic movement. Or once you find some place that feels really good, you can hold in a static hold. Take just one more breath on the left side. Great job. Let's switch, bringing the ear to the right next shoulder. Right hand rests on the head, and left hand begins its exploration by the hip. Finding a nice yummy stretch through the neck. Great job. Come back through center. We'll inhale to circle the arms up, look up. And then as we exhale, drop the hands onto the shoulders so the elbows are out to the sides. Now, if this is too intense on your shoulders, you can always bring your hands to your hips, elbows out to the side. All right, wherever we're at, let's start with little circles. Taking our elbows just in little circles to the side. And then maybe allowing those circles to grow bigger and really get through your shoulder blades a little bit deeper. And then let's go ahead and reverse those big circles. And eventually start to work them small. Great job. We're gonna pause with our elbows out to the side, and then we're gonna start to comb our lats, our lat muscles. So as we inhale, you're gonna lift your shoulders up as high as you can. And then as you exhale, you're gonna drop them down by your hips. Inhale up, exhale down. Now, if you're taking this from the hands on hips position, you're gonna take a very similar movement, but instead of lifting the whole elbow up and down, you're gonna imagine this whole upper arm and shoulder lifting up towards your ears like we did just a moment ago, and then coming down to relax. So we'll take just a few more of these lat combs. All right, go ahead and let the elbows come back out to the side. Inhale to reach the arms up, and exhale to bring them down through your prayer. And then let's go ahead and send both of our legs out long here. Coming into a seated staff. And be sitting on a block or take any adjustments you want. You can keep your knees with a little bend, or you can press through the heels, starting to straighten them out. And let's begin to bend our right knee. Draw it in towards the torso, place the foot inside of that left foot. We'll sit up really tall on our inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll come into a sage twist, taking our right hand behind us onto the floor or a prop, and starting to turn that left shoulder towards your right knee. You can hug the knee with your hand. You can hug it with your elbow in one fashion or another. Each inhale allows you to lengthen the spine. Each exhale allows you to sink a little deeper into the twist. Beautiful job. Exhale to release, seated staff. Inhale, arms up. And let's take it into a forward fold over our legs here. Will be our first one. So noticing how that feels in the lower back as you draw your heart towards your toes. Your hands can be on your legs, the floor, your feet, or maybe you grab your strap and wrap it around here. All right, let's inhale to roll back up to a straight spine. And then the left knee comes in for our sage twist. We inhale, we straighten the spine. As we exhale, we take that left hand behind us, starting to turn right shoulder towards that left knee into your sage twist. Find your easy, gentle breath here. And notice how it feels in this little bit of a constriction. Great job. Inhale to send your feet out long. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. See if you can go a little bit deeper down, sinking the torso heavier towards your legs. Great job. With our next inhale up, come to your straight spine. Now we're gonna keep our left leg long, or you can bring a bend in it just for a little more stability. And put the sole of the foot on the floor. We're then gonna hug that right knee in towards our chest, but this time we're gonna lift the foot off the floor. And we're gonna start to take a few ankle rolls. Now you can hold on to the back of the leg or the front of the leg, or you can even use your strap here to hold. And then reverse those ankle circles. Point and flex the toes a few times. Beautiful job. Our next inhale, we're gonna straighten that leg as long as we can up towards the ceiling. And then let's slowly lower it down to. Great job. Make sure you're sitting up tall, engage through the core. Feel free to bend that right knee, put the sole of the foot on the floor, and start to lift your left leg, knee towards chest. We'll take our ankle rolls. And then we'll reverse them. We'll point and flex the toes a few times. And when you're ready, inhale to lengthen the foot leg as much as possible. And our exhale lowers it down to the mat. Great job. Feel free to roll the legs in and out a couple of times, loosening everything up. And then from here, let's go ahead and come on up to our first standing pose. We'll start by coming into our mountain. We'll stand up tall. We'll feel the ground supporting us sturdily underneath. Maybe we let even a little smile curl into our lips. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Exhale, take it into a swan dive as you hinge in forward fold. Hands can come to the floor, your legs are a prop as you bend deeply through the knees and let your torso hang a little deeper. And then you can keep your hands where they are, or you could grab opposite elbows as you start to sway from side to side in a ragdoll. You find movement through the head, through the neck, through the jaw. You can lift heels or toes. You can sway the hips. And then eventually come into a little bit of stillness gradually. Allow your hands to return to their previous location if you grab the opposite elbow. And then with our inhale, we're gonna halfway lift. Keep the gaze down. We're in figure 7. Our core is engaged. Our legs are lengthening just a little bit. Beautiful job. Exhale, hinge and fold. We're gonna drop the hips and take a slow roll, coming all the way up to standing. Beautiful job. Once we arrive in our standing pose, we're gonna bring our hands, fingers at heart center, and then interlace and push the hands away from you, allowing your chin to come down towards your chest and rounding through your spine. The next inhale, we're gonna take those arms up and overhead, stretch it out. Beautiful. Release the hands and let them float back behind the spine. Now you're welcome to grab it in opposite hands, interlacing your fingers, grab wrists, grab elbows, grab your shirt, or maybe even that strap. We're drawing our knuckles down towards the ground. We're opening up through our heart space, squeezing the shoulders together. Great job. Our next exhale releases whatever bind you have behind your back, letting your arms come to either side of the hips. And then let's start to take a washing machine. So we'll start to bend at the knees, bounce in the ankles, twist the hips, and let the arms flail by your sides. They can come up high, they can go stay low, you can go fast or you can go slow. Allow yourself to just be here in this childlike moment, noticing the joints of the body, moving in a carefree, spinny type way. And then start to unwind, going a little bit slower. Eventually, the hands come to rest by the hips once all momentum is gone. Beautiful. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. This time we're going to take our gaze either to where the room and the wall meet in front of your eyes, or maybe in between the hands. We're going to push our hips forward, just like in that camel pose. Maybe start to take the hands behind the head, inviting a standing back bend. Beautiful. Bring the gaze to the horizon, hands to prayer, mountain pose. Alrighty, from our mountain, let's step our left foot back into a warrior one. We're gonna turn those toes out to the side. We're gonna turn our hips forward, and we're gonna start to sink into that front knee. And keep your hands on your hips. They could be on a prop in front of you. Maybe you bring them to your prayer at your heart center, or maybe you start to lift those hands up in the air. Warrior one. Allow this to be a strong pose. We're pulling our thighs towards each other. We're pulling our belly button towards our spine, and we're keeping our hips pointing forward. Beautiful job. From this warrior one, we're going to inhale and open out to our warrior two. So the hands come out wide, the hips come out to the side. You walk that back foot back a little bit. Beautiful. With our next inhale, let's reverse our warrior. And then spiral the hands as we inhale to come to side angle. That front hand or elbow to the knee, or maybe to a prop in front of the foot. We'll take that back hand, we'll circle it overhead or maybe alongside the ear, and we'll make sure this top hip is not popping up too much. Great job. Inhale to come back to your reverse warrior, but straighten that front leg. And then with our exhale, we're going to bring our arms to a T. We're going to turn that front foot towards the side. Now we're in wide-legged 5-pointed star towards the side of our mat. Take your hands up and overhead. Really feel that stretch as you take up as much space as you possibly can here. And then with an exhale, we're going to hinge into a forward fold. Beautiful. From here, inhale to halfway lift. We're going to keep our right hand under our face and then begin to spiral the left hand out to the side and up. Great job. Exhale to release that left hand. Inhale, spiral right hand up. Excellent job. Come back through center. Inhale, 5-pointed star to rise. And then with our exhale, we're going to turn that back foot into a warrior two. So we're going to take that back foot, turn it towards the back of our space, and then start to bend into that front knee, taking arms up and to our warrior two. We're going to take that same sequence, but a little bit in reverse. So we'll take it into our reverse warrior, the straight front leg first. Exhale, come into side angle. Inhale, bent knee reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two, sink it in. Inhale, warrior one. So we're gonna take that back foot, hop it in, turn the toes to the side and the heel to the back, and then twist the hips forward as we bend into that front knee. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Beautiful job. As we exhale, we're gonna bring our hands down to our hips. We're gonna step that back foot in into our war mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up. And with an exhale, sink into a chair pose at the back of your space. We're gonna hold here for just one moment. Exhale, twist to the right. Chair twist. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, chair twist to the left. Inhale to come back through center. Stay and sink in for your exhale. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, rain it down, forward fold. Great job. Now we're gonna need to get from the back of our mat back up to the front of our mat. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, mountain. We're gonna take our right foot, we're gonna step it back for warrior one. Inhale, arms up and overhead. We're gonna just flow through that same sequence, maybe changing up a pose or two here or there as we turn ourselves back around. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior with a bent knee. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, straighten your knee, reverse your warrior. Our next inhale takes us to 5-pointed star. We're gonna pause there. And then go ahead and bring your hands down to your hips. And this is where we're gonna change it up just a little bit. So we're gonna come into a one-legged squat, letting ourselves lean towards the right, come back through center, lean towards the left. You're welcome to keep your hands on your hips, to use them like a brace against your leg. You could invite a prop in to your practice in one form or another. You can go fast or slow. You can go even deeper if that is part of your one-legged squat process. You can leave heels down and lift toes, or leave toes down and lift heels. We'll take one more on each side. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Now with our exhale, we're gonna turn the leg towards the front of the mat, back into warrior two. Sink it in. Inhale, straight leg reverse warrior. Exhale, spiral to side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior with a bent knee. Exhale, warrior two. Great job. Our inhale brings us to warrior one. Take your time, resetting up. Beautiful job. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hips and then step the back foot in. Mountain at the front of your mat. Beautiful job. Inhale, circle arms up. And with our exhale, we're going to start to come down, bending into the knees, like we're coming down into a chair, but then keep going until you're on a toe stand. You have a prop in front of you for just a little bit of support. And then as you're ready, go ahead and come down onto the mat. We're gonna take our legs into a mermaid sit. So let's bring both knees together, stacking them just a little bit, but staggering them as well. The feet go to the right, the knees are in front of you. We're gonna go ahead and bring our left hand or elbow down to the mat. And then start to lift your right arm up and overhead. Feel a real lengthening as you make sure that top shoulder is not rolling towards the floor, but instead it's pulling towards the wall behind you as you send the arm up and overhead. Now you can take your top leg and see what it feels like to extend it long, stretching along the right side from fingertips to toes. Great job. Let's come back through center and switch sides. Knees come stacked, but a little staggered in front of you. Feet over towards that left side. Hand or elbow onto the floor or a prop on the right side this time. As we inhale, we circle that left arm. But again, be sure not to dump the shoulder forward. Pull it back and then shoot it over. You are welcome to stay here or maybe start to extend the left leg long, top leg long. Pointing toes in the opposite direction. Inhale to come through center. And then as we exhale, we'll bring our hands behind us, our hips under us, and our feet in front of us with knees bent towards the sky. We'll then extend that right leg and begin to take the left foot and ankle into a seated figure four. Now we have options here. We can keep our right leg extended and this left knee out to the side here. We could start to bring a bend into our right knee and draw that left shin a little closer to our heart. And if we'd like to go even further still, maybe walk your hands or your grounded foot a little closer to your hip, which will compact the stretch just a little bit more. No matter where you're at, keep your spine straight from the hips to the top of your head. Feel that nice, easy breath. Good job. Notice how that feels in that left hip. And then start to send that right leg long. We'll switch sides. Bringing right ankle over, either staying here or taking whatever modification you might like. Keep that right ankle and foot flexed here. Pulling the toes back towards the shin, no matter where you're at. Beautiful job. All right. With our exhale, we release the left leg. We'll come through a butterfly seat. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide. Sit up tall through the spine. We'll start to bring our hands to a prayer. And then inhale, circle them up high overhead. With our exhale, we're going to draw them down through the prayer. And then open them wide to a T. As we inhale, circle the hands like you're holding a big ball in front of you until the fingertips come to touch. And then our exhale drops the hands behind us, palms face up like we're opening up bird wings. Beautiful job. Let's inhale, circle arms overhead. This time, let's exhale to cactus the arms. Inhale, beach ball in front of your torso. Elbows come out wide to the side. Exhale, bird wings. And we'll start to take that 4 movement flow. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, cactus. Inhaling, beach ball. Exhale, bird wing. Take it at your own pace. Go fast or slow. See if you can really tune into the muscles that you're using to make these shapes through the arms, shoulders, and spine. One last cycle. Beautiful job. Now, as you come to sit up tall, we'll take the legs out long as we bring the knees in together. And then let's come down onto our backs here. We'll hug the knees in towards the chest, maybe draw the knees a little tighter, and take a rock from side to side. Beautiful job. Let the soles of the feet come down towards the floor, and then the knees over to the right. You can take any variation of a twist here that feels good for you, from adding props to stacking or staggering the knees. Try to keep the shoulders pressed against the ground. The arms can open to a cactus, a T, or even circle overhead so your hands make a pillow for your head. We'll take one last breath on this side. And then just as slowly as you can find, we're here in our restorative practice, start to roll through the hips, coming on over to the other side. Again, feel free to make any adjustments to this twist based on what this side of your body needs. Start to slow the breath down. Notice your heart is racing. See if your deep exhales can start to calm things down. We'll inhale to bring the knees back through center. We'll hug the knees into the torso, maybe even lift the head so the nose comes up by the knees. Start to squeeze the hands, squeeze the feet, create as much tension in the body as you can. Really squeeze all the muscles that you can think of to control. And then when you can't create any more tension in your body, just like that 5-pointed star, we're going to explode out into a full body stretch, taking our arms and legs as wide as we can, spreading fingers and toes, taking up all the space. And then as you're ready, we'll exhale to release into a final resting pose. You're always welcome to stay in a constructive rest or corpse pose. You could take your legs up the wall or take any other variation of a resting pose for you. You can add pillows, blankets, maybe a sweater or socks if you're chilly in your space. And we'll start to come back as we end our class, focusing on the present moment, on finding joy, and how that is a wonderful way to improve our positive energy. Maybe you close your eyes, or maybe simply soften the gaze and take a few slow, deep breaths. Trying to release any tension on your exhales. With our next inhale, we'll notice the ground beneath of us. Can you feel the support of the earth underneath your bones? Can you allow any stress or tension or tightness to flow down from your muscles into the ground, grounding and centering yourself in this place. We'll then begin to draw our awareness down towards our toes. We'll zero in on the muscles, the joints, and the tendons throughout the feet. We'll notice if there is any tension there, and with a purposeful exhale, we'll allow those muscles, bones, and joints to really relax and get heavier. We'll then draw our awareness up through the ankles and into the calves, the knees, the thighs. We'll check in with the muscles, the joints, and the bones. With our deep exhale, we'll release anything there might be to release. We draw our attention up into our hips, our abdomen, our torso, shoulders, and back. Noticing what there is to notice. Maybe this time even noticing organs, lungs, heart, the growl of a hungry tummy. And with an exhale, purposefully relax and soften. We draw our attention down our arms, elbows, forearms, and hands, all the way to the fingertips. We begin to notice any subtle energy, any tension in the muscles or the joints. And with our purposeful exhale, we allow the hands and arms to sink heavier against the mat. We then draw our awareness up into the neck, the jaw, noticing the facial features, the tension at the temple or the back of the neck, and all the way up to the top of the head. Noticing what there is to notice. Slow, steady exhale allows you to release, soften, relax. As we shift the focus to the breath itself, I invite you to observe your natural breath without trying to change it. I encourage you to notice the rise and the fall in your torso and the sensation of breath entering and leaving your body. As you settle into your breath, gently let go of any negative emotions or thoughts. With each exhale, I encourage you to release any worries or stress that you may have been carrying still. Now we'll bring our attention to the idea of joy. I'll invite you to visualize a place or a moment where you felt pure joy. It could be a memory, a place, even a simple experience. But I want to ask you to immerse yourselves in that feeling of joy. Allow it to start to travel throughout your body until it fills every cell with that feeling, the experience generated. Joy doesn't always come from seeking. Sometimes it finds us in the unexpected moments. But I encourage you to be open to joy anywhere it shows up, anytime, allowing it to naturally flow into your life without force. We can even tap into the energy of affirmations. I am open to the joy that surrounds me. I attract positivity and happiness into my life. I am open to the joy that surrounds me. I attract positivity and happiness into my life. I am always so grateful you take a moment of your day to spend time together with this opportunity for us to cultivate joy. We can carry this sense of joy with us, not only off the mat, but through our day, in our daily lives. Continue to take a few slow, deep breaths here. Allowing yourself to enjoy any good feelings that you've cultivated today. And when you're ready, take the deepest breath of your day so far. As we slowly start to bring our awareness back into the room that we are in. We can wiggle fingers and toes, maybe even gradually opening our eyes. And then in your own time, in your own way, start to make your way back up, facing me. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's always such a pleasure to share this practice time with you. I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and I look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Thank you.